Good morning, buenos días. We're going to go ahead and start with 8.1. Vamos a empezar con 8.1. The first thing you should have done is you should have tried the launch problem. So if you have not tried the launch problem, you need to try that now. Necesitas empezar la otra problema. Okay? For today, I have added some questions that you will need to try. It will also pause the video while you are answering the question. Make sure that you put your answers into the question spaces, okay? Por hoy, tú vas a tener diferentes preguntas y tú necesitas escribir tu respuesta en la caja y entonces el video va a pausar cuando estás escribiendo tus respuestas. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the launch question. Remember that anytime you are actively taking notes or when you are writing an answer, you should pause the video. Okay, recuerdas cuando tú estás escribiendo tus notas o tú estás encontrando la respuesta, necesitas pausar el video. Today we're going to be talking about integers. Vamos a empezar sobre números enteros. Integers, en español, es números enteros. Okay, so for today, we're going to start with just kind of explaining what an integer is and then trying to write different integers. So let's go ahead and look at our launch problem. It says, to prepare for an overnight camping trip, you begin checking the temperature to see what clothes to bring. Okay, all of this is introductory information. Todos de esto no es muy importante porque este es información extra. If the trend, another word for trend is pattern, pattern continues, what might the temperature be at 8 p.m.? Notice the word might. That means we don't know for sure. You're making a good guess about what the temperature is going to be, okay? You need to decide what you think this temperature is. Necesitas decidir que tú piensas sobre esta temperatura, okay? You're going to go ahead and try that question. What do you think? When you are done putting your answer, you're going to play the video, okay? Cuando tú termine tu respuesta, tú puedes empezar el video otra vez, okay? Right now I see that 6 to 5, it goes down 1. Then from 5 to 2 degrees, now I'm going down 3. Then from 2 to 0, I go down 2. So I see that it doesn't follow an exact pattern. It's not like menos uno, menos uno, menos uno. It's not like minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. But if I am making a guess, que yo pienso va a ocurrir, if I'm thinking about what I think will happen or occur, I'm going to guess it's probably going to go down, maybe by 1, maybe by 2, maybe by 3. So a good guess for me would be maybe, negative 1 grados, okay, or negative 2 degrees Fahrenheit, or negative 3 degrees Fahrenheit. Any of those would be fine, okay? It wouldn't make sense for it to be positive because the number seems to be going down, okay? So it's going to be a lower number. All of these are integers, okay? Todos de estos hay números enteros, okay? These are integers. This is an integer. This is an integer. This is not an integer, okay? This is an integer, I'm sorry. All of them are integers. This is not an integer because it has a decimal, okay? Este no es un número entero porque hay un decimal, okay? Si yo tengo esto, if I have this, that is an integer. Este es un número entero porque es punto cero, because it's 0.0. That is still equal to -1. So if I show you a few examples, I want you to think about what an integer means. Yes, or sí, no. Okay, 3, no, -2.1. Yes, -4, no, -0.23 or -23 hundredths. Yes, +2, no, +6.1. Yes, 0, no, -1/10, okay? An integer is a whole number, positive or negative or 0, okay? Un número entero es un número positivo o un número negativo o 0, pero no un número con un decimal. Okay, fácil, easy? Okay, let's go ahead and continue. Go ahead and turn to the next page. Necesitas buscar la otra página. And let's just make sure everyone understands positive and negative numbers. Lo siento, este es mi hija. Sorry, this is my daughter. Okay, lo siento. All right. When I'm looking at positive numbers or positive integers, este es un número entero positivo. Lo siento. Sorry. Un momento. Okay. Y entonces, cuando yo tengo 0, when I have 0, the numbers to the right, a la derecha, are números enteros positivos. Okay? The numbers to the right are integers that are positive. They are whole numbers. So numbers to the right of 0 are positive. If there is not a sign, okay, if there's not a sign, it's positive. On the opposite side of that, al opuesto, or al contrario, a la izquierda, to the left, is negative. A la izquierda hay números negativos, okay? So all the numbers to the right of 0 are positive. So if I have a number line, si yo tengo una recta de números, and the numbers to the right of 0 are positive and the numbers to the left are negative. If we look at 0, 0 is not positive nor negative. 0 no es positivo, no y ni negativo. Now let's look at opposites. Opposites is un cognado opuesto opposite or contrario. Esta es una palabra difícil por mí. Contrario. Okay? Este es opposite también. Okay? Opposite or opuesto. So two numbers, dos números, two numbers that are the same distance, la misma distancia, desde 0, from 0, on a number line, but in opposite directions, are called opposites. Y entonces, si yo tengo dos números que hay la misma distancia entre 0, pero hay a la otro lado de 0, estos son opuestos. Okay, so if I have two numbers that are same distance, like -4 and 4, are the same distance from 0, but they're on opposite sides. So this one is to the left, a la izquierda, and this one's to the right, a la derecha. They are opposites. Hay opuestos. Okay? So think about that. what would be the opposite of -5? If you said +5, you are correct. -5 is 5 away from 0, and 5 is 5 away from 0, but they're on the other side of the number line, so they are opposites. What is the opposite of 3? ¿Qué número es el número opuesto de 3? If you said -3, you were correct. Okay, so those are opposites. If I owe $3, that is -3. If I have $3, that would be +3. 0 is neither positive nor negative. 0 no es positivo ni negativo. Okay, 0 es 0, 0 is 0. The integers or números enteros, okay, are the set of positive whole numbers. They're opposites and 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are integers and they're opposites. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. All of those are integers, okay? Those are our basics of this lesson. That's really all of it. The rest of the lesson, we're just going to practice and decide when do we write a number as positive and when do we write a number as negative, okay? Make sure you have all of these notes. Es importante que tú tienes todos de tus notas. And now we are going to practice. Y ahora vamos a practicar. Okay? So for each of these, I am going to pause it by asking a question. You need to make sure you are typing what you think the answer is before you're continuing on. So your first one says, got it. What is the opposite of 9? Notice I'm underlining and circling. Get in the habit of doing that. Opposite of 9. Well, I have 9, and this is +9. Este es un número positivo. This is a positive number. So the opposite, if I had this on a number line, here would be 0. It would be to the right, a la derecha, porque es positivo, because it's positive. So it's 9 away. So I need 9 the other way. So that would be -9. So if you said -9, you were correct. So what would be the opposite of -9? Well, it would be +9. So if I want the opposite of a number, keep in mind I want the other way. Okay? Now let's try the second one. Be careful. It says, what is the opposite of the opposite of 4? Now I have 2 opposites. Ahora yo tengo 2 opuestos. Okay, so what is the opposite of the opposite of 4? Well, I'm going to start with this one. The opposite of 4. Opuesto de 4. Okay, so this and this would be -4. Negativo 4. Okay, but now I want the opposite again. So the opposite of -4 would be 4. So the opposite of 4 would just be 4. Okay, so the opposite of a number gets me back to the original. If I had the opposite of 2, I would have -2, and then I'd have 2. So it always gets me back to the original. Okay. So that is just practicing the opposites. Now we have a number line. So make sure that you've got all of those parts filled in your notes, and then go ahead and rewatch any parts that you need to. Okay, let's look at part 2. Which integer represents each situation? So I want which integer represents situations. Okay, so here you're thinking of integers and how I would write them. For example, If I had that I have $2 and I need an integer. Si yo tengo $2 y yo necesito escribir un número entero. I have, so that means it'd be positive. My number is 2, so I would have a positive 2, which just equals 2. Okay? If I lose, there, okay, $2, I would underline 2, and I would lose, and I would circle 2. Lose es negativo, it's negative. To lose, perder, is negativo, is negative. My number is still 2, so that'd be negative 2. This is what it means to represent when I want a number that represents an integer, okay? Este es que yo quiero cuando yo quiero un número entero que representa una situación, okay? Y entonces vamos a buscar, okay? Okay, then we're going to go ahead and look. Be in the habit, es muy importante, okay? Be in the habit of underlining and circling. So it says A, 5. So yo voy a poner un círculo. I'm going to put a circle below 0. So if it's below 0, it's going to be negative. Okay, it's negativo, because baja 0. Okay, now I'm going to put 5. Now I put them together. This integer would be negative 5. Go ahead and try B, C, and D, and then go ahead and check your work, okay? Make sure to underline and circle. When you're done, go ahead and unpause and see how you did, okay? All right, let's go ahead and look at this one. It says a gain of 8 yards. So I gain, that means I go forward, okay? I gain, so that would be positive 8 yards. 8 yards. So I would just have 8. Okay? A loss of $6. Loss, to lose, perder, or gastar, if I'm spending, minus, and then 6. So I'd have negative 6. Okay, see how underlining makes it a lot easier? Okay, now it says 3 steps backward, backward, forward, backward. I'm going backward, so that would be negative. So 3 steps backward would be negative 3. Negativo 3, okay? That's representing a situation. Esta es una situación. This is a situation and an integer. Okay? Now let's go ahead and put it in some work with science. So in science, we have talked a little bit about electrons and protons, and you probably remember talking about that in 5th grade more. We haven't spent a lot of time talking about atoms. But every little thing has atoms in it. So if you look at the tip of your pencil, that has millions and millions of atoms. Okay, so every little atom has something called electrons and protons. And if you put them together, if I have 1 electron and 1 proton, they're equal, and that makes it so it's like 0. But they have opposite charges. So the electrons and protons are usually equal. Electrons y protons a igual. Okay? But they have opposite charges. Okay? Pero hay opuestos. Okay, the important thing to remember is that electrons are negative, okay? And protons are positive. So for these next examples, we're using electrons are negative and protons are positive. So I want to know, what is the charge of an atom with 2 more electrons? Okay, so hay dos más, and they're electrons. So electrons are negative, and I've got 2 more. So I would have -2. What if I had 4 more protons? Okay, if I had 4 more protons, it would be protons are positive, and I have 4, so it'd be +4. What if I had 5 more electrons? What do you think it would be then? It would be -5, because I have -5, so it would be -5. Okay, so what would it, so check your second, got it. Write what you think for this one. What does it mean if an atom has a charge of 0? So if it has 0, so if it had 2 more electrons, it would be -2. If it had 2 more protons, it'd be +2. But what does it mean if an atom has a charge of 0? Okay, write what you think. If you said the protons and electrons are equal, or there are the same number of protons and electrons, you would be correct. Very good. Okay, or in Spanish, hay la misma cantidad de protones y electrones. Okay, that's why it equals 0. Este es porque este es igual a 0. Okay, still easy? Okay, right now we're just practicing integers. Ahora nosotros estamos practicando enteros. Okay, the last little part is now putting a little bit more information. Now, whenever you have a big problem with a lot of words, you want to find or identify the most important information. Cuando tú tienes un párrafo con muchas palabras y mucha información, es importante que tú estás decidiendo qué es importante en el problema. Okay, so it says the highest point on land, on earth, is the peak of Mount Everest. All of this is context. Todo de esto es contexto. Okay, there is no important math information in there. Its elevation, altitude, okay, is 29,028 feet. So there's my number. Aquí es mi número. Above, abajo, sea level. The lowest point on land, on earth, is in the Dead Sea. Once again, this is context. Otra vez, este es contexto. Its elevation is 1,312 feet below or bajo sea level, nivel del mar. Express each elevation as an integer, como un número entero. Okay, so you're going to try this one, see if you can get it. So you should have 1 for Mount Everest. So write Mount Everest equals, and then Dead Sea equals. Once you have your answer, go ahead and unpause. Write it in the box, and then go ahead and check it. Okay, so Mount Everest, I look up here, and I see 29,028 feet, and I have to decide, is this number positive or negative? Yo necesito decidir, ¿es positivo or negativo? Okay, it says above. Above is a keyword. Abajo or up. Okay, so this is going to be positive. But I don't need to write the positive sign. Yo no necesito escribir esto. Okay, este es positivo. Now I see the other one. Now I need dead C. My number is 1,312. And I need to decide, is it positive or negative? Well, now I see below or baja. Bajo is down or negative. So now I have a negative sign. And that's all I do. Okay, try this one. See if you can get it. Okay, so read the entire thing. See if you can decide what is important information, what are the numbers, and what's my keyword. Okay, it's mi palabra clave. Okay, my keyword. Okay, when you think you've got the answer, go ahead and unpause me and make sure to put your answer in the box. Okay, so it says the lowest point in the United States is in Death Valley. Okay, that's fine, but that's context. Ese es contexto. Its elevation is 282 feet below sea level. Write this elevation as an integer, como un número entero. So I have 282. I see the word below, so that would be negative. Negative 282 feet. Okay, that's all in this one, but I'm going to add in because this is a little bit shorter one. I want to make sure you understand it. So I'm adding in a little sheet that looks like the same type of problems. So I'm going to ask you to complete these questions box by box like you have been on this one, just to check and make sure that you understood all the parts. When you finish that part of the video and have finished the entire video, then you may go ahead and start on your homework. Okay? And then if you finish your homework early, I want you to go into MobyMax and do some fact fluency. Okay? But first, let's go ahead and try a few more problems. You can write these problems in your packet or on a piece of paper. Okay? Y entonces nosotros vamos a hacer más problemas y tú puedes escribir estos problemas en tu libro o tú puedes escribir tus respuestas a una hoja de papel. Tú puedes hacer que tú quieres, okay? So let's go ahead and look at these problems right here. Okay, number one, think about what numbers are missing and fill in the boxes. Okay, número uno, necesitas decidir cuál números necesitas por las cajas. Okay, go ahead and put in your answer. If you put -4, -3, 0, and 2, -4, -3, 0, y 2, perfecto, perfect. Okay, next, number 2, what is the opposite of -17? Put in your answer. If you said positive 17, you were correct. Let's look at number 3. What integer represents? Okay, this is when you have to write whether the number is positive or negative and then the number. What integer represents 6 strokes below par in golf? So let's first talk about what golf is. Golf is a sport where you try to hit balls into a little golf ball into a hole, okay? If you get par, that means you get 0 points, okay? Golf es un deporte en los Estados Unidos. Si tú tienes par, tú vas a recibir 0 puntos, okay? If you have 2 points, if you get 2 points, that means that you got 2 above or bajo de par. If you had -2 points, that means you had 2 less than par, okay? bajo de par. Okay, y entonces, okay, and then in this case, it says 6 strokes below par, and par is 0. Okay, y entonces yo tengo 6 bajo de par, y par is igual a 0. Okay, so think about what this integer would be. If you said 6 is my number, okay, ese es perfecto, and it would be negative because it's below, you were correct. If you said 6, just regular 6, that would be above par, not below. Okay, so let's continue. Number 4. Go ahead and read that problem and pause. Make sure that you read it and then write your answer in the box. Okay, and then I'll kind of read through it. I know there we go. Okay, a man enters a parking garage at street level. Okay, un hombre va a entregar un garaje de estacionamiento a nivel del calle. Okay, he's going to enter at the street level. Street level, right here, nivel del calle is equal to 0, is equal to 0. He parks, he's going to park on a level that is 4 floors, below the street. Y entonces, él va a estacionar a un nivel que es 4 pisos bajo del calle. What integer, cuál número entero, can represent where the man parked? Okay, so you need to write an integer. Okay, go ahead and try that one. If you said 4 is my number and it's a negative 4, you were correct because below, bajo, significan negativo, equals or tells me it's negative. Okay, try number 5. How do you know that 8 and negative 8 are opposites? ¿Cómo sabes que 8 y negativo 8 son opuestos? Write what you think, write in the boxes, in the box, and then check your answer. If you wrote something like I did, si tú tienes algo como mí, este es excelente. This is good. 8 and negative 8 are the same distance from 0. 8 y negativo 8 son la misma distancia entre 0, but they are on opposite sides of 0. Pero hay a un lado opuesto de 0. Okay, so they are the same distance, but on the other side of 0. Go ahead and try this last one, okay? Put your answer in the box, and then go ahead and check your work. What integer can represent the position of the bait below? So bait, y en español, el cebo, okay? So bait del cebo, bajo de nivel de agua, below the level of the water. Then tell how you got that, okay? So try your answer now. If you said this is the level of the water, este es el nivel del agua, that would be 0. I'm going down, so that's going to be negative, and my number is 18. So my answer would be negative 18. Okay, what do you think? Pretty easy? So at this point, you should have not only finished your notes, but you should also have these extra problems in your book to practice. At this point, if you have watched all of it and you have entered in all of your answers, you may go ahead and you're going to try the homework that I assigned to you. If you finish your homework, you may go ahead and do fact fluency in MobyMax. Remember, the school code is IL2127. And then you can either do Prodigy or you can do MobyMax Math, okay? Porque tú terminaste todo del video, tú puedes empezar a la tarea. Y cuando tú termines tu tarea, tú puedes ir a mobymax.com, max.com. Y entonces tú puedes hacer fact fluency, ¿ok? Y este es donde tú vas a practicar tus multiplicación y división y cosas como esto. Y entonces si tú terminas este también, tú puedes trabajar en la sección de matemáticas en MobiMax, ¿ok? Good job. And I hope that you understood all parts of the lesson because we're going to build on it tomorrow. Y entonces, buen trabajo. Y mañana vamos a practicar y nosotros vamos a hacer algo nuevo. Okay. Adiós. Bye bye.